Welcome back to another episode of the Panther Sports Zone. I'm your host, David Smith.
I'm Zach Collins.
I'm Cyril Neville.
Last show of the year, fellas. Unfortunately.
It went fast.
Yeah.
It went fast.
It's time to get out of here, though, honestly.
Definitely.
Facts. How was our weekend?
Draft field, I had to work a little bit. So, you know me. I'm a big football
NBA
buff
stuff.
anyway. Oh, yeah.
NBA
Definitely enjoyed
stuff.
that yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mind you, we got to talk about that because both of y'all picks is not looking good, but it's okay.
Who?
We ain't going to talk about it. We ain't going to
You,
talk about
you
it.
said his pick?
Both of them.
What he picked?
They both picked against my team.
who?
But they're going to pay for it. It's okay. Keep going. We got to start.
Yeah, I want to hear this. Men's baseball team played at TSU this past weekend. Unfortunately, got swept. So, yeah, they got swept.
How?
But it didn't look too good. But the softball team also played University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, and they swept them this weekend.
It was senior weekend.
Yeah, senior weekend. They're still 2 games behind TSU. TSU's on a 7-game winning streak right now, and we're on a 6-game winning streak. So we're still waiting to see who's going to fall first.
And the rematch is this weekend
Yeah.
because they canceled the second game, I want to say, because we lost the first one.
Mhm.
So we finished the second game, finished the third game. I think we'll ultimately end up tied. We'll get the tiebreaker because we won the series. We'll come out on top.
How many games have they been in this
Who?
season? Like, baseball?
Over
Too many.
30. Over
Already?
30, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you got to understand their season starts so late, but they pack it up with
Yeah.
doubles, and sometimes they play back-to-back days. It's just their schedule is jam-packed. I couldn't be a baseball player. But also just a few takeaways from softball this past weekend. I think first game they won 6-0. Second game they got after them again. I don't think they scored, did they? Exactly. In the third game, Deja had 2 home runs. So that was it was their senior day. So congratulations to all the seniors for, one, being SWAC champions, being in the run again, and continuing that legacy they started creating.
Yeah. And also, Crystal Castillo pitched a one-hitter, 1 game.
She was definitely in her
Yeah.
bag on Friday. That was Friday.
Yeah. You talking about pitching being
She
something to
came
watch
with it.
out.
She came with it. It was just in a different rhythm. You could just see her. She was just playing different. Like she was actually smiling on the mound when she got a good pitch. Like she wasn't up there overthinking. And like y'all said a lot, you can get in your own head in that type of game.
Yeah.
But she wasn't in it. She was throwing whatever she wanted, and it was working.
So, do y'all know the dates for when the SWAC tournament is going to
Should be
be?
next month.
Next month?
Towards the end of next month.
I know where it's going to be.
Birmingham
Birmingham.
is always there.
Yeah. This Friday is the start of the SWAC championship relays for track. Goes from Friday all the way till Sunday. So make sure you guys are available to come out. I just checked the forecast. It's supposed to rain all week.
I seen it too.
Yeah. So hopefully that changes up. You know how Texas weather is. But when we come back, we got some interesting news from MLB. Is bat flips breaking the unwritten rules?
We're not gonna talk about it right now.
Nah. We can go to commercial.
No.
What?
It's PV news, so we gonna wait on that one too. Marquee.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm waiting on that.
I
Oh
got
yeah,
you.
one of PV zones is in a jersey, NFL jersey, and the playoff basketball is finally back to where it needs to be. We'll be back from Panther Sports Zone.
David's fun.
Traditions are not made overnight. They are created through a legacy of excellence and a commitment to something much greater. For more than 135 years, Prairie View A&M University has provided students with a strong academic foundation, a unique college experience, and the opportunity to make their mark on the world. This is a place where friendships are formed, discoveries are made, and dreams are realized. This is Prairie View A&M University. Our tradition, your opportunity.
Welcome back to the Panther Sports Zone. So before we get into the draft, I want to just talk about, since we got Neville back, MLB, obviously, you've seen where Tim Anderson had the bat
Yeah.
flip. I just wanted to ask if you think doing bat flips is doing too much on the baseball field. You know, they got the unwritten rules,
No.
not showing out.
If they want, the whole ad before the season was like, let the players play.
Yeah.
And then now y'all want to switch up on the players when it's time for them to, celebrate and have fun on the field. But, I mean, it's just been going on for years with the bat flip, so I don't see why
Yeah.
there's so much uproar in it. like, what's his name? He was on, I think it's Gurriel. It was Valbuena. He would do a backflip every time he hit the ball. So I was like, what's the problem now? Or
Right.
anything.
I think it's just having the old man's mindset still. You know, baseball is
Yeah, it's
America's pastime and stuff like that.
What would y'all say is the biggest unwritten rule in baseball?
Showing out.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
it.
As soon as you do that, next time you come up.
Disrespect,
Yeah. Plus, I just think just being soft,
Okay.
not competitive enough.
out the lane of
Yeah.
The baseball guys
You're
don't
supposed to be
appreciate
like,
it. Yeah.
okay.
Especially when a minority does it.
Mm-hmm.
That's, it.
That's why they hated Puig.
Yeah.
Puig was
When
definitely
Puig
gonna
first
tell you
came
about
out,
it.
it was like, oh, we got to get him out the league.
And now he's even doing good in Cincinnati.
I don't keep tabs on the Reds. When's the last time you talked about the Reds?
Last time you was here.
For real?
Yeah, because we were talking about prospects, and Hunter Green is one of the top prospects.
You know, you can't talk about
he
the
tested
season.
like 103. He's a black kid too.
Yeah, I met him before.
Yeah.
It's cool. I didn't think he would be, but
Why? Because he's
you just see people, you be like, your first
hate
impression
Neville.
off people, it's just like,
I hate Neville.
But he cool.
Yeah,
He cool to talk to.
I guess. But on to the NFL. We obviously just had the draft to wrap up. Some surprises, some disappointments. Obviously, we got the Giants being one of the disappointments. Josh Rosen is now in Miami. And one of our PV's very own, Quentin Bell, got drafted. We called it, waiting for him. You actually said like 5th or 6th round, too. And he went to Oakland Raiders, drafted as a defensive end. So I'm definitely curious to see how he's going to play. I don't think he's going to stay at defensive end. That's me personally, because he's just too fast to be kept in one box.
Okay.
He can definitely be moved around.
They're definitely going to try that just to see what he can do at other places, but he's going to start at defense, though.
He's going to stay on defense for the most part. What just most intriguing about this whole thing is the fact of they took a chance on him knowing that if they didn't get him in the draft, he was going to sign somewhere else outside of there, which I was thinking. I said, we was having an argument of where would they sign. And somebody told me that they would stay with the Raiders. I said, I'm not staying with the Raiders. I'm quitting. I'm going to find me a quality defensive end that can teach me how to rush the passer, who can teach me how to play defense, who's going to take me under their wing. That's why I thought the best situation for him would be somewhere like Chicago or Denver, because he's around quality pass rushers that'll teach him the game and he can learn. But as far as for what it felt like, the feeling you get is like unmatched. To think I was going, this is the second time I've had it happen. My freshman year, a guy I went against every day on scout team, ended up going to the NFL, but he wasn't drafted. But going against Q every day in the spring, having those conversations with him about if he wanted to switch, because early in the spring he thought about it, but he didn't really plan on it. And then him going into it, him actually becoming the defensive end, him not having the season that he wanted, but he still went to APEC and turned into this monster that we see now, and he's only going to grow. The biggest thing, he needs to put on weight and learn how to play the position, whatever position that is that he's going to play. But like you said, they need to utilize his speed and put him on the edge just to get to the passer, because that's the main point we talked about it last time. You either do one or two things in this league: throw the ball or rush the passer. And he could. There's no left tackle that can kick faster than him getting past him. He has to learn moves, because once they get their hands on him, they can have their way with him just because he's so light and because he's so relatively new to the position. But it's something that I'm excited to see. I'm so proud of him. We as a PV family are proud of him. And it's crazy to see things manifest right before your eyes. Something to also think about, we ain't talked about yet. Marcus Hardy should be signing any day now as an undrafted free agent. And just the takeaway from this whole experience of just seeing this happen is just, you can make it from anywhere. Like we talked about, we've been had that theme of HBCU kids getting into the league, and it can happen. It's just the work ultimately at the end of the day.
Yeah, that has to be like the best feeling ever, bro. You getting a phone call
from John
Chucky.
Gruden.
Yeah.
He got that distinct voice. They recorded a little conversation. They had a meal last week that he talked about. And all Q said was the food was good, so that was funny. It stumped the NFL Network people because they didn't show his highlight. Luckily, we played 3 games on ESPN, so all the games we played on ESPN, they had highlights whenever his name was called on ESPN. But it's little things like that you notice. They probably didn't even have Titus Howard highlights. They probably had to look for those. So it's just trying to figure out when they're going to respect it. Yeah, when they're going to respect it. But other takeaways from the draft, us getting Mac Wilson in the 5th round,
The Browns?
insane, yes. That's a steal pick for somebody who was ranked, I want to say, 2nd, 3rd round pick.
Mm-hmm.
And for us to take him in the 5th easily, that's something
Well,
we
a
needed.
lot of people dropped in the draft.
Ex-
It was just
Greedy
Greedy
crazy.
drop. It was more so because they felt like the top tier talent and
Pure
the
defense.
the good players, it was a huge gap. So we saying 1 through 7 is our best players.
Mm-hmm.
Murray, Josh Allen, both the D tackles, Bosa. Those are top tier. Everybody else going to fall because this draft is so second half heavy. Like this draft is full of starters, but they won't be superstars. That's what this draft
Yeah,
is
and I
for.
think
So
when
that's why
it's-
everybody fell. And then when you have a glaring issue like Greedy fell because they feel like his tackling is a problem. But I tweeted out, I said,
Yeah.
if you can cover,
He's a
it doesn't
lockdown
matter
player.
who gets the ball.
He's going to be with Joe Hayden, too, so he's definitely going to
He's gonna
learn
be, Denzel Ward.
from Denzel Ward, so Joe
Yeah.
Hayden's not
Joe
the
Hayden
one.
gone.
Yeah, he
He's
with
buried.
the Steelers. But Joe Hayden's going to teach the they drafted, I want to say, 2 players in the back end that he's definitely going to teach, which he still has technique that he can teach because for majority of his career, he was probably one of the,
Right.
if not the best corner. He was in Darrell Reeves' shadow. He was
Mhm.
2nd best. And he still has a lot of fundamentals he can teach to the game. He moved into the inside now, which will be better for him. But as far as for the draft, on our end, I don't know who the BYU backer is. You can be hit or miss with those players just because they might be a product of the system. But overall, I loved our draft. I love the fact that we got Odell Beckham for a 1st and 3rd pick. That's probably the best thing of the weekend. And just moving along, I liked how Rosen handled it. I guess he got tired of getting beat up by the media. He thanked the Cardinals. It still has an issue of him making it about himself. But we're in a new day and age, and like y'all said, it's a lot of old thinking. They don't allow players to have their own mind. That's what Larry Johnson talked about. And he's going to think for himself. That's why they don't like it.
Mhm.
He's not one that can be controlled. So it's something I love.
And where the NFL's going now with the first few rounds, it's mainly QBs, O linemen, and DNs.
Yes.
Right.
And so I think it's getting to the point where for the first rounders, you're not even gonna see receivers in there anymore
Because
because they
everybody
could
wants
be
to play it.
buzzed like John Ross.
John
Yeah,
Ross
you
hurt
know,
receivers.
Yeah,
But luckily,
Kevin White got hurt.
yeah, Kevin White
Just a
didn't
lot
help
of
at all.
receivers just went down.
But it just brings a different fire in you when you have to sit in that room and just watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that boils them up because they're told all year, hey, you're going 1st round. You're going to get this type of money. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. And they're not. And we're talking about the most egotistical position on the field. It's a corner and a receiver. These 2 of the biggest egos. And 2 of the, KD type of egos where if you tell them something, they're going to get in their feelings. That's just the
AB.
way they're set up. They can't handle it. You're going to relax on AB. You're going to relax on AB. But no, that's a position it's kind of taken for granted because, like you said, they took AB in the 6th round thinking, they didn't think he was
Yeah.
going to manifest into the best receiver in the NFL, but it happened. But as far as for the receivers that went, like A.J. Brown he went to a solid place. Metcalf going to the Seahawks,
Yeah.
insane,
I like that.
insane. He's going to learn.
But he fell 3rd round or
No,
second round?
he went second
Second
round, but he
round?
was I think he was close to the end of the 3rd round.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
second round. He was like 61, 62. But that's where he needed to be. I'm
Mhm.
glad they didn't get enamored with his 40 time. I'm glad they understand he has a long history of injuries. He had just got off a neck injury that could have took him away from life, not just the field. So I feel like the teams are getting smarter and understanding what's the most important, trenches, and your quarterback. I feel like whenever you're making a team, what goes on top is let's look at the receivers as icing. That's everything else. That encapsulates the team, but that's not what makes your team. Because if you got good icing and a dry cake, what do you have?
But
Nothing.
you got to start center and out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Build your own line first. Get your QB.
Get a
and-
tackle.
Yeah.
You need a center. As long as you good on the outside,
Mhm.
you 2 tackles in the center, your guards can be because the Rams guards was subpar,
Yeah.
and they still made it to the Super Bowl with an okay quarterback.
They shouldn't
excellent
have,
play
but they
calling.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like the pick from
Let
the
it
Cardinals.
go. Anyone in New Orleans, anybody that's a fan of the Saints, let it go. We're already
I
halfway.
did let it go
into
until the
offseason.
Falcons made that little video of the little Game of Thrones thing. I
The
didn't
same
like it.
reason y'all made fun of them for losing the lead 28-3.
Well, that's worse than what happened to us. How you lose?
I also
You
like
was
the
up
pick from.
20.
Thank you, Davis. Start the conversation. Who did you like, Davis?
I like the Cardinals pick from Hakeem Butler,
Yes.
the receiver.
Yes.
He's going to be working with Larry Fitzgerald, also Calvin Johnson, and Anquan Bolden.
Another
Also,
receiver
Yeah.
that we talked about.
Possession type receiver, big, 6'6".
Yes, huge. He found himself late bloomer in high school. He had a lot of traumatic history. I think he lost his mother at like 15, moved to Houston with his uncle. Obviously came to the mecca of high school football, learned how to play the position. Took him a couple years. I think his biggest offer out of high school was Iowa State. Crazy enough, I made his highlight coming out of high school through my recruiting service that I work for.
So you have to make his highlight tape?
Yeah, like
Okay.
the way it's set up is he has all these highlights starred on Huddle.
Mhm.
I just put it together and sent it to my boss. But ultimately, that is something else too, to see kids from my class, like my recruiting class, people that graduated in 2015, to be able to enter the draft, to go first round, like have a legend like somebody who's considered probably the best player to ever play Texas high school football, Kyler Murray. All of those kids that we the same age, and I'm looking at them and they're making millions. That's really why I tweeted, I just want to play just again.
Yeah.
That feeling is unmatched. Playing football is nothing like it. I know everything that comes with it. I understand I probably have CTE, but it is what it is. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
It is what it is. Before we go into NBA, just a quick fact about Quentin Bell's draft. The last person to get drafted from the PV was in 1980. Matthew T got drafted by Dallas Cowboys. So it's definitely a big milestone, big step
Very much so.
in the right direction. Definitely going to get more exposure. We should have been had more exposure, to be honest, though. We got best facilities in SWAC, one of the best facilities in D1.
We're in Texas.
Yeah.
But you gotta.
It's just-
It's just a
That's
matter of
part of it
time.
too.
Yeah.
We definitely have best facilities in FCS.
All right.
Best colors probably. We had like when we were in Russell, we had like 7 uniforms. It'll slowly build up. What conquers everything is winning,
And plus the
we
student
haven't
body's
done that
growing
yet.
too, so
and it's growing
fast.
while we're average.
Yeah.
Imagine what this campus is going to look like when they turn it around in 10-win seasons, SWAC championships back to back. Think like the basketball helps. We in college, we understand what runs this campus is football.
Yeah.
So if we're winning, that's going to change the dynamic. You got to just think about the season. Think about the smile I had post Grambling, and then lost it immediately after we played Southern. That's why I hate Southern to the core. But that's how it happened.
Yeah, for sure.
We gonna talk about Daniel Jones too, or just?
Oh, you want to get off on Daniel Jones too?
No, I just want to know if he was gonna talk about it.
No, we
I thought it
talked
was
about
a
it.
funny topic, but
Didn't we already talk about it?
Yeah, we already talked
y'all
about
talked
it.
about it.
Yeah.
Friday.
David was on the show.
Oh, I was here. My bad.
Terrible pick.
Yeah.
He projected to be 4th round. Shouldn't have been. He shouldn't have got pick 6. That's pointless.
Yeah,
to
he's
me.
a day 2, day 3 guy.
He's not ready to play.
All you had to do is just look at the film from Clemson, and that's.
If I'm
that's
going
it.
to be an average quarterback, like, I'm going to be an average quarterback in the best quarterback league, which would be what? We'll say Big 12?
Yeah.
He was an average. There's 10 quarterbacks in a conference. He was rated 8th in his own conference. And he goes pick
ACC.
6. He's not better than Finland, who got drafted in the 4th round. He's not better than
Drew.
Locke or any, but the fact that they just got enamored with him, his stock just shot through the roof because of
He
his
went to the camp.
workouts,
And
his
Manning.
his meetings. I'm gonna say it again. If Haskins was white, he wouldn't have made it past 3. He might have got picked over Kyler Murray just because of strictly arm talent. And
Yeah.
you can argue back and forth who you think is the better thrower. It's a really good conversation. It's not like Dwayne just runs away with it because Kyler can throw special, and
on
his
the
feet
run.
is just as special. So that's something that you can't miss. That's why Arizona takes him. That's why Arizona boots Josh Rosen out. But Daniel Jones at 6, I'm still not sold on it, and I don't think I will be. And I think the Giants will continue to pick top 10.
He's going to have to make a move like that kid on All-American.
I know you didn't just make it.
All-American reference.
Nah, because you know how the quarterback was.
Yes,
Yeah.
but the athleticism in there is
Hey,
terrible.
I was just about to tweet that yesterday,
Bro,
bro.
You see how he was running, bro?
Yeah,
Just-
let me play. Let me just
Get
be on
Out
the
had
show
better
once.
athleticism than that. But no,
Really, that show is trash. To be honest
straight.
with you,
It's
nah,
straight.
that show
it's
garbage.
straight. But no,
You
honestly,
don't like the storyline, bro?
I like the
storyline is
storyline,
good.
and that's it.
The
Everything
storyline
else
is
is
good.
That's all that
garbage.
matters.
exactly. The
But-
storyline is good, bro.
You know what else is good? The Warriors.
Yeah.
They won 104 to 100. A lot of missed calls though. A lot
It's
of
the
calls.
playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Why
saying.
are we complaining about calls in the playoffs
But
now?
If the ref says on national TV that there's no such thing as playoff calls, then you gotta call it.
Did he call it? No,
No,
these
they
playoff
didn't call
calls.
it.
Some
You
calls-
play a different
But
ball.
he said on TV there's no such thing.
play a different
as
ball in the playoffs.
Calls.
But
I'm
some
gonna
of
let
them
it-
weren't fouls at all.
Exactly. And he's just complaining.
Some of them were flops.
But he couldn't
Or they
land. You're
consoled
supposed to be
it.
able to land, but they called it for KD
cares?
and Clay.
Do you have
They
championship
did.
pedigree?
Oh my
All right,
God.
then. I don't want to hear it. You barely made it out the second round, and you ain't making it out the second round this time, so I
What does
don't
that
want
have
to
to
hear
do
it.
with anything? If they're not calling the calls, they're not calling the calls.
No,
and they gotta
if
call
you
them.
don't have championship pedigree, you don't get the call. That's
If the rep says on national TV
Okay,
that there's
he
no
said it,
such
right?
thing as playoff
he
calls,
said it right. And what happened? He didn't make one call. So take it on the chin. To get your second loss in Oakland,
This
and then
is
get back to
crazy.
Houston.
And the fact that they still only lost by 4 is crazy.
Okay,
That's 15 free points for the Rockets missed
that's tough.
off of missed calls.
That's tough. It's real tough.
Yeah, y'all tripping.
That's tough.
But what was you saying before the show? when
Y'all
show
picked the
started?
Bucks.
I didn't pick the Bucks. I don't even like the Bucks.
Oh my God.
I
could've
hate
sworn you
Giannis, bro. He
picked the
can't
Bucks.
shoot.
They picked the Bucks.
Who picked the
We
Bucks?
smacked the Bucks by
I
22.
never- The Bucks. still
You
have-
too. We gonna post the show.
I picked
You
the Celtics, bro.
in Cincinnati. No, I asked y'all who was gonna win, and y'all said
You
the
probably
Bucks.
did say the Bucks.
I promise you,
'Cause
because
you-
I don't like Giannis.
You picked the Nets. You picked.
They did all
you picked
that
Auburn.
talking.
Yeah, you just
And
seemed
20
like you would pick
piece
the
them.
Bucks.
We gonna get a
Alright,
gentleman
man.
sweep out of here.
I
I
definitely-
told y'all.
Here's how I know.
Like the
I didn't
Bucks
pick
still
the
haven't
Bucks.
proven anything.
Because I never liked Giannis. The dude can't shoot.
People really think this is going to get to like 7 games.
To what? The Celtics series?
Yeah.
it's
That's
not
going
happening.
5
It's
or
not.
6.
It's going 5.
The Bucks
They
still
might
haven't
get
proven
one.
anything.
We just won game 1 at their place by 22. This is gonna get ugly.
It's
This is
funny.
gonna get ugly.
So is that a definite MVP for James, even though they
Yes.
already
Giannis
did
is
voting?
not that good, bro. He just so happened to be blessed to be 7'4".
Timeout. I promise you, on this show, on my last show, we're not gonna say Giannis is not good.
He's
And
good,
you
but he's
told
overrated.
me Kelly Oubre is a lockdown
Oh my
defender.
gosh, bro.
I'm gonna need you to relax.
The dude's a good defender, man. Come on now.
He's not in the top 15
You like his
defenders.
hair.
I told you he's enamored with the look of Kelly Oubre.
First
bro.
of all, pause.
That is him, bro.
I wasn't even mentioning the looks. These two guys mentioned looks. So, question who really.
That's the
who really
only thing you
suspect.
got. He don't play quality
First of
defense. He
all.
can't get a bucket. And you just said Giannis isn't good.
Like I said,
You
I
say you
never
don't
brought
like,
up
bro.
looks.
He brought up Kelly Oubre, but won't and said Giannis is all right because he's 7'4".
Bro,
No, Giannis is a bucket. He just
Oh
can't
my
shoot.
gosh.
He's a bucket. Nobody can guard
if
him.
he's a bucket, he got to be able to shoot.
No, that's not how that works.
That is how it works.
The object is to get the ball in the net. He does that efficiently.
He has no handles. That's all
He
he
took
does
3
is
steps and
drive.
got to the goal. I don't
That's
think
what
he
I'm
needs
saying.
handles.
He's not a walking bucket. You can't create.
That is a walking bucket.
Oh my
1, 2,
God.
cup.
He is not.
It's
a
not a
walking
hard
bucket, bro.
concept, Davis.
KD is a walking bucket.
KD can do whatever he wants on a basketball
That's
court.
what Giannis can. He has no.
Giannis
handles.
can take 2 steps and be at the rim. What are you saying,
All right,
Davis?
the definition of a walking bucket.
That's a
is
1
definitely-
step, 2 step, in the cup.
Cyril, man.
Am I missing it?
Cyril,
Am I
tell
missing
this
it?
man what a walking bucket is.
Am I
Why y'all
missing
put
it?
me in the middle of this? But look, he just needs to open up his game. Just be able to
Is
shoot.
that a
Is he not a
walking
bucket
bucket
right now?
He's getting buckets now.
Thank you.
Is he a
Without
walking
shooting.
bucket? Is he a
So
walking
put some
bucket?
respect on
It's
Giannis.
not the tip.
And it doesn't matter because they still
if you gonna say
lose.
walking bucket, it's a literal walking bucket.
Literally,
It's-
a walking bucket.
All right, but we
One,
talking
two,
about-
cup.
If we talking about hooping and getting buckets, he's not.
my-
He's basically
But
the
he
same
said Kelly
size
Oubre
as
is a
KD.
hooper.
He's
Oh
basically
my
the same
God.
size as KD, just a little bit bigger. But he has no handles. He can't shoot.
He
I
still
understand.
scored
How are you a
30.
walking bucket and you can't
He's
shoot?
a literal walking bucket.
All right, take out the literal part. Is he a walking bucket? No.
Yes!
Why? Because he can't shoot and he can't dribble.
Oh my gosh! But if I can get to the bucket in 3 steps, how am I not a walking bucket?
LeBron
How?
is a better walking bucket than Giannis, man. Come on now.
I never said he wasn't. You just brought up average players in a MVP.
I didn't compare him to
But
Giannis,
what I'm
though.
telling you is, if you gonna put respect on average players, then put respect on somebody that's in the MVP
All right,
conversation.
I'll give him respect as he can drive in whenever he wants because
That's the point.
he's 8'2".
Okay. He can get to the cup.
All right, he probably could drive in because he's stronger more than
See,
KD.
my problem, I just didn't want to hear him in the MVP talk. Like, if you can't
Because
shoot,
he's
I don't
not.
want to hear you
He
in the
can't.
MVP
He
talk.
can't get bucket at
He
his
shifted
own.
the dynamic of his team.
You
He
right.
got them the best record
But
in the
they do
league.
that
What are
every-
you saying?
But look what they
Name somebody else
He
on their
does-
team.
He does.
Look what they
Chris
have.
Middleton.
Chris Middleton.
One of the best.
Eric
Chris
Bledsoe.
Middleton been here 16 years
One of the best
and been
three-pointers
averaging
in the
16
NBA.
points.
One of the
Eric
best
Bledsoe.
three-pointers.
What am I
in the
gonna do with
NBA.
Chris Middleton?
Eric Bledsoe. Come on
Malcolm
now.
Brogdon.
Did you just bring up Eric Bledsoe like
Eric
Yes.
Bledsoe.
Terry Rozier didn't just lock up Eric Bledsoe last?
Okay, but you can't say Eric Bledsoe. Not
Eric
cold.
Bledsoe?
Eric Bledsoe.
We
is
talking
cold,
about
bro.
Bro,
Eric Bledsoe cold.
he
bro.
said Eric Bledsoe is
Check the
cold
tape.
and Giannis
I mean,
is
check the
okay.
tape. Check the tape.
Eric Bledsoe is cold and Giannis is okay? Come
If
on
we're
now.
talking about MVP talks,
Giannis needs to be in them.
Giannis
I didn't
needs
say
to be
he
in,
needs to win.
but he is definitely not on James Harden level.
Oh
James
my
Harden is
gosh.
not a literal, but he's a walking bucket.
He's a step back bucket.
He's a walking bucket.
But what I'm telling you is,
Giannis, I've never seen Giannis hesitate.
but you just put
I've
no,
never seen Giannis
You just put so
do
much
that.
respect on Middleton, on Bledsoe, but you don't put that respect on Giannis. I don't
Because
understand
he's
it. It's a
over
lockdown.
height,
Oh
man.
my gosh.
He can't shoot.
Davis, if he can get the ball in the cup, what does it
Look,
matter?
Look, Davis, I feel you on the point that he's just, you know.
He's just
blessed
all he
to be
does is
7
drive
foot.
in.
I
And he-
feel you on. He's
But
blessed
if
to
you
be
can't
7 foot.
stop it, what
But
are you mad for?
you
first
can-
of all,
you can stop
they're going to
it.
lose because of him.
But he got them to this point.
But he's
When
definitely
have the
gonna-
Bucks been this good?
Never.
last
They're
year.
still not good. They're about to be.
They
out the
weren't this
playoffs.
good last year.
They
got-
got the best record, but they're definitely.
That's
good
what I'm
last year.
telling you. Bro, he's
They-
making
just-
my argument
just
for
because
me.
they didn't have the best record don't mean
God.
they weren't good. Last year they picked up Eric Bledsoe. That definitely sent them in the right direction.
The Warriors went 73-9. Were they not good that year? Because
They
lost?
were good.
Because they lost?
They won a
All right.
championship.
No, they lost that year.
They lost.
All
73-9.
right, you're right. I forgot. But anyways, as soon as they picked up Eric Bledsoe, it was a new direction.
So it's
they're going.
Eric Bledsoe. Eric Bledsoe that
Eric
got
Bledsoe
locked.
the answer.
Giannis
Eric
can't
Bledsoe
win
went
by-
2 for 16 against Terry Rozier. That's who we're going to say.
All right.
They're the reason.
First of all-
Eric Bledsoe. Eric Bledsoe is the reason they got to the playoffs this
First
far.
of all,
Eric Bledsoe
no,
is the
I'm
reason
not
they got the
this-
best
not
record
this year.
in the league.
Not
Eric
this year.
Bledsoe.
First of all,
Eric Bledsoe.
I said Terry Rozier
That's what
at
he
the beginning
said.
of the year was sixth man of the year.
So
Eric Bledsoe.
Eric Bledsoe or Russell Westbrook?
Eric
That's a
Bledsoe.
Westbrook. That's a compelling argument now.
Russell Westbrook.
Eric Bledsoe. Bro.
Eric Bledsoe is not as good as a player as Russell Westbrook.
Okay, thank you. We get a little respect. But
I just had to ask him.
what do we?
You thought
so
to say Eric?
Yeah, I thought you was.
Come on now.
I
No,
thought you was.
Thank you, because he is just off
I
the
would
left
cap,
wall.
but I ain't gonna cap like
Thank
that.
you. This is
But
Cap
Giannis-
Central.
No, Giannis is all he does is drive, and that's how he gets.
But if you
30
can't
points.
stop it, Davis, why are you mad at that? None of us here are 6'10" with 7'3" wingspan. If we could all take 2 steps and be at the cup, we would all do it.
All right, but a complete MVP does more than drive.
He shifted the whole dynamic of his team. Did he not?
Cause he had to lead them.
Oh my gosh. So what are you saying? If he didn't, bro, he helped them get
He's
more
not as
victories.
good,
he
bro,
scored.
as everybody
Who's going to
makes it
score
seem.
on him?
Nobody.
All right, then. You're making my point for me. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, man.
And he doing all this, and he still ain't gonna beat the Celtics. That's all I want to say.
Put Giannis against Harden 1-on-1. I promise you.
Giannis is gonna clamp that man. Okay, bro.
Harden gonna call his foul.
Thank you. That's all he gonna do.
Damn,
You don't think he's gonna lock him up?
No, bro. No.
Okay,
Come
so
on
you think
now.
they're gonna? You think James will win?
Yes.
I still think
Bro.
he
James is not guarding
This
that
man does not know basketball.
You don't think he's gonna blow
Hey,
by James?
hey, James
if he
on-
gets the ball,
hey,
he's not. James can't guard
James
him.
on a post-up defense though.
Thank
It's
you.
locked down. I promise you,
Bro, all he has to
Go
do
back
is
to the
dunk.
film.
I
Go back
promise
to
you,
the
it's
film.
locked down.
Bro,
James Harden has an arsenal of moves.
y'all gotta let it breathe. Y'all gotta let it breathe.
Giannis has
So
one
y'all
let it
thing.
think James
breathe.
Harden?
Giannis
Let it
literally
breathe.
goes to his right on every play. You either going to flagrant him or you're going to let him go.
Now when
But when
James
you
Harden,
can't keep up, it doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying. You either going to flagrant him or you're going to let him go to the hole. Get his little 30 points. They're still going to lose.
Okay, so are we talking about one-on-one or are we talking about team basketball?
Right now we're talking
One-on-one.
about one-on-one.
Okay.
y'all don't think James can lock up whenever he wants to?
No. I'm not.
Because
no, I'm
when
not
I see
taking
him
that.
play for real defense, he be locking
No.
up.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Oh, so now we.
I'm on
Like-
your
oh my
side.
gosh.
Like
Now,
James uses.
James Harden plays defense as well.
James
Eric
Harden is-
Bledsoe is
when
a
he
top
wants
NBA
to.
point guard. James Harden plays defense.
Who said Eric
These are all
Bledsoe
hot
is a
takes.
top
I want you to
point
know
guard?
this.
No,
Who said Eric
I
This is
said-
gonna be
Bledsoe
a-
is
this is-
the
yeah.
best
I
point
said
This is
guard?
all
James
hot
Harden
takes.
plays defense when he
That's
wants
what I'm
to.
saying. This is hot takes. James Harden plays defense, and Eric Bledsoe is a quality point guard in the NBA.
He is.
But he just got locked up by our second team.
First of all,
Point guard.
Terry
Oh my
Rozier is only
gosh.
second team because Kyrie's the starting
Okay.
point guard. You put Terry
my
Rozier in the
point.
starting role anywhere else, he's definitely going to All-Star game.
They're gonna
Say
pay
I'm
him.
wrong.
Somebody's gonna pay
I
him.
never said you was. But you've been arguing in circles. Trying to explain to
all
me
my
that
points
Giannis
are
is
right.
not. No, they're not. Giannis is second in MVP talk for a reason. He turned his season around. He allowed his team to win. He shifted the dynamic of his team. You got to put respect on that. No matter if they're going to lose to the Celtics because he doesn't have a second option. I told you that. And you named Chris Middleton like he was a quality NBA player.
One of
He
the
is
best
past his
three-point shooters in the
prime.
NBA.
All-Star
He's
game
past
this
his
year.
prime.
He was in the All-Star game.
He's in an All-Star because who was in the East? Please name me 10 people in the East.
Ooh,
Oh my God.
Exactly.
bro.
We got-
That's why he's in an All-Star game.
Hold on.
Come
hold
on,
hold
now.
Hold on.
you
Go
got
ahead.
the Celtics starting five.
Exactly.
You got
Exactly. You can't even go.
D'Angelo Russell, Celtics starting five.
I need names.
That's 7 right
names.
Giannis,
Names.
Kimba.
And Chris Middleton.
Kimba,
Chris Middleton on.
there. Kimba.
Kimba.
And he's. So y'all telling me Chris Middleton is a top 20 player in the league?
We never
no.
said that.
No.
But he's definitely top 20 3-point shooters in the league. Pull up stats.
Oh my gosh, Davis, you're the stat man, and you didn't pull him up.
Because my laptop is about to die.
Yo, Davis.
Yeah.
Pull up the stats, bro.
I just want to know how you put respect on Middleton's name because he can shoot.
I just think people people put too much respect on Giannis' name.
Why?
He
He's-
has one move, and that's go to his right. You're either going to flagrant him or move out his way.
He's still scoring.
I've
with
never
it.
seen that man dribble between his legs.
I've never seen him.
That's just hilarious.
doesn't
That's
matter.
crazy.
He has
I'm-
No,
Bro,
what I'm saying, that's
my
a dribble
arm can
package.
scrape the ground. Why
That's
do I
a
have to
crazy-
dribble?
He has.
Bro, I can stand straight up and both of my hands can touch the ground.
He
What
has-
do I have to dribble
He
for?
has no dribble package. He has no
He
layup
doesn't
package.
need it if he can score 30 in the NBA.
And that's
But
a
What are you
he's
crazy-
the
saying?
same size as KD, and KD is a walking bucket. Not a literal walking bucket, but he's a walking bucket. KD definitely has an arsenal of dribbles. KD can get to the hoop.
That's why KD is
KD
considered
can shoot
a
from
top 2 small
the
forward.
other
That's why
three-point
KD is
line.
considered the best player in the NBA. We're not saying
But
that.
people are saying Giannis is one MVP, and KD's not MVP.
He turned the season around. What are you saying?
So where is KD?
Bro, we're
Why
not
isn't
gonna-
KD in the MVP talk?
Because KD has 4 All-Stars on his team.
But
Because whenever KD has an off game, somebody else can score 30, and another player can score 25, and another player can score 20.
all right,
That's
Eric
why KD
Bledsoe
is in the,
definitely
in the
dropped
NBA.
40 one game this season.
One game. It's 82 games in a season, Davis.
All right.
You are talking about anomalies. That means, bruh, it doesn't.
If it wasn't for Eric Bledsoe going to the Bucks, they wouldn't be in the position they are now.
Eric Bledsoe.
Check the stats before he came to the team.
Eric
Check the
Bledsoe.
stats after.
He's kind of right though.
Thank you,
Who's
bro.
their other point guard? besides
Well, when Eric Bledsoe
Brogdon?
didn't show up last night, what happened? They lost
lost.
by 22.
You know why?
So I don't care.
I'm gonna
don't
agree
care.
with you right here. But you know why? Because Terry Rozier is an all-star.
Okay. You had a hot take.
Six-man of the year.
Good job, Davis.
Lou Will,
Lou Williams definitely been balling though.
So is Terry Rozier.
but Lou Will. That man's a hooper.
Please stop. I don't want to.
He's a bucket.
Is he a walking
Let me get my
bucket?
thanks
He's a
off.
walking
Let me get my
bucket.
thanks off. Thank you to Nigel. Thank you, Leon. Thank you, Davis. Thank you, Neville. Thank you, David. I appreciate y'all for real, because one, I ain't never think I was going to be able to do this, and it just happened on a whim, and I ended up creating a great friend in Davis, although I just killed him in this argument.
No, you did not.
I thank Leon, and just y'all always kept me on my toes. Y'all allow me to be myself. Y'all allow me to go on tangents, and they just look at me like I'm crazy. But I definitely appreciate y'all. And if these lights wasn't so bright, I'd probably be crying. But I love y'all, and I appreciate this opportunity, and I'm thankful for the Panther Sports Home and everything y'all done for me, for real.
No problem, man. You
That's
know
hard.
we're here
That's
for
hard,
you.
bro.
All right. Thank you, David. Thank you, Leon. Thank you, Cyril. My boy Zach definitely got a great friend. Grew close with this man. David, he did good. Leon, you know we here. Nigel, sorry for Duke.
Duke sucks.
Duke is overrated.
It's okay.
But yeah, thank y'all. Miss Dalvez too.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you, TDV.
TDV.
I appreciate you so much for this opportunity, for everything. Thank you.
Hey, you gonna post this, right?
Mhm.
This whole, like the last
Yeah,
20
I'm gonna
minutes?
get on
All
you.
right, bet.
I'm gonna get on you.
I want
Yeah.
to make sure Twitter knows that
I'ma
the
get on
Bucks
you.
weren't nothing.
I'm gonna get on you.
We're not the same.
There's still nothing.
Sign it up.
They still finna lose.
4-1.
Make sure you ask, is Terry Rozier 6th man of the year? Is Giannis a walking bucket
No
or a
one's gonna
literal
think Terry
walking
Rozier's
bucket?
6th man of the year.
Close the show, Davis.
I was gonna let him.
Oh, I was just gonna say Lou Will is for sure.
I'm
Sixth
talking about your
man of the year.
thanks.
Oh, my thanks.
He don't need no
Oh,
thanks. He did 7 shows.
yeah.
He got another 2 years.
Never
I'm
mind, I
outta
ain't gonna say
here.
that.
I love y'all.
But yeah, this is all the time we got, folks, for the last show. We'll definitely see y'all next semester. We're gonna be on Roku, on TV, you know, going big things.
Big things.
My man got an internship with ESPN, so hopefully you're definitely going to hear from him. ESPN podcast for sure. It's also his 23rd birthday,
22nd.
22nd.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, we definitely gonna celebrate after graduation. Cause we gotta graduate first.
Definitely.
Big balls.
Big boss. But yeah, I'm David Smith.
I'm Zach Collins.
I'm Cyril Neville.
Oh, this is the Panther Sports Zone.
Only Davis.